Blake Lively isn't just under fire, she's unraveling. After Justin Baldoni finally broke his silence in a blistering interview, Hollywood is seeing the truth behind the polished PR mask. No more carefully crafted Golden Girl image. No more fake smiles. The diva act is collapsing in real time. Baldoni revealed exactly how Blake manipulated and exploited him during the making of It Ends With Us, before flipping the script and accusing him of harassment when things didn't go her way. For years, he stayed quiet. But now he's exposing everything: the sabotage, the smear campaigns, the false accusations. And with every detail he shares, Blake's reputation sinks deeper. He described how she hijacked his project, the very film he spent 5 years developing, and transformed it into her personal empire. Script rewrites, demands for creative control, insisting on final cut approval as if she were the director, producer, and financier rolled into one. What should have been a story about survival and awareness became a billboard for Blake's vanity. Instead of highlighting the film's powerful message, she shoved her hair care brand and Ryan Reynolds' gin company into the spotlight. Survivors' voices were silenced so her products could trend. And when Justin pushed back, Blake launched an all-out PR war. Her team planted stories, staged interviews, and fabricated narratives to cast her as a helpless victim. The plan was simple: destroy Baldoni's career, control the headlines, and cement her image as Hollywood's untouchable star. But the plan failed spectacularly. Justin revealed the toll it took, losing his agency, being blacklisted, sinking into anxiety and depression, all because Blake couldn't stand not being in control. His lawyer even exposed receipts proving that Blake invited Justin into her trailer multiple times, while publicly claiming she felt unsafe around him. The contradictions were staggering, and her credibility shattered. When her smear campaign collapsed, Blake doubled down. She filed a $250 million lawsuit against Justin, only to be hit with his $400 million countersuit. Judges have already ruled against her on key requests, stripping away her ability to silence him. Every legal loss is another nail in the coffin of her public image. And the humiliation doesn't end in court. Hollywood has gone silent. Not a single co-star, not one supposed friend has defended her. Even Ryan Reynolds, usually quick with jokes or support, has stayed eerily quiet. Insiders are now whispering that he's distancing himself from the chaos, maybe even rethinking the marriage. This isn't the first time Blake's behavior has come under fire. From poisoning her Gossip Girl cast against Penn Badgley for no reason, to body-shaming a female journalist on live TV, to diva meltdowns over billing placement against Anna Kendrick, the pattern is undeniable. A history of arrogance, insecurity, and manipulation, now fully exposed for the world to see. Blake Lively thought she could steamroll Justin Baldoni, rewrite the narrative, and walk away untouchable. Instead, she's watching her career, her reputation, and possibly her marriage crumble. What was once Hollywood's golden image has been shattered into scandal, lawsuits, and public rejection. And now the only story people believe is Justin's. Blake Lively's Hollywood image is collapsing faster than anyone expected. And this time, no amount of PR spin can save her. Behind the scenes of It Ends With Us, insiders revealed that the press was explicitly instructed not to ask about the film's heavy themes. Why? Because Blake wanted the spotlight on herself, not the story. Instead of deep conversations about domestic abuse, trauma, and survival, every single premiere event turned into a self-congratulatory parade. Blake strutted around like she was accepting an Oscar, hijacking interviews and twisting them into monologues about her own genius. This wasn't just ego, it was a takeover. She has a long history of pulling this same move. "I'll star in the project," she says, "but what I really want is to secretly direct it, edit it, and produce it. I want it all for myself." And her insecurity? It's painful to watch. Insiders recall her infamous feud with Anna Kendrick. Anna was the original lead, but Blake launched a weeks-long tantrum just to steal top billing. The fight dragged on so long that producers had to invent a bizarre hybrid credit system. Anna's name came first, but Blake's appeared higher on the screen to soothe her fragile ego. Who battles for weeks over font size and placement? Her obsession with control hasn't gone unnoticed, and the media is finally shredding her for it. Megyn Kelly went so far as to call Blake a manipulator, a fraud, and a bully, even drawing direct comparisons to Amber Heard. And honestly, the parallels are striking. Blake tried to play the victim, weaponizing the Me Too movement for her own PR stunt. She even had the New York Times publish a sympathetic, poor Blake story to rehabilitate her image. But receipts leaked by Justin Baldoni's team destroyed that narrative. When the evidence contradicts the performance fails. And here's the most damning detail. Nobody is standing by her. Not one Gossip Girl cast member. Not one supposed Hollywood friend. Even her husband Ryan Reynolds has gone radio silent. When an entire industry stays quiet, that silence is louder than words. But this toxic pattern didn't start with It Ends With Us. It goes all the way back to Gossip Girl in 2009. Blake herself admitted she poisoned the cast against Penn Badgley, simply because she didn't like him. No reason, no justification, just petty mean girl cruelty. Years later, Penn never defended her, and Leighton Meester cut ties too. Neither of them even follow Blake on Instagram today. Imagine working side by side for 6 years and not wanting your name linked to hers. That says it all. The scandals piled up from there. In 2016, during a press junket, a Swedish reporter politely complimented her pregnancy glow, saying she had a cute baby bump. Instead of accepting the compliment, Blake looked her up and down and snapped, "Oh, so do you." She humiliated another woman on live TV, mocking her body in front of the entire press room. The clip resurfaced in February, right when Blake was trying to paint herself as a bullied victim in her lawsuit. The timing was disastrous. And then there's Anna Kendrick again. On screen, they looked like best friends. Off screen, Blake undermined her at every turn, pulling the same power plays she used against Justin Baldoni. She needed to outshine, to dominate, to twist the narrative so the spotlight never left her. Now the pattern is undeniable. Blake Lively thrives on control, manipulation, and ego. But her empire of smoke and mirrors is collapsing. What was once Hollywood's golden girl image has now crumbled into lawsuits, leaked receipts, and total silence from those who once worked closest with her. Blake Lively's career is spiraling into chaos, and for the first time in her carefully manufactured Hollywood journey, the world is finally seeing the cracks in the image she spent years trying to sell. For so long, she was positioned as the glamorous, untouchable golden girl, the Gossip Girl star who married Ryan Reynolds, built a picture-perfect brand, and played the role of Hollywood's sweetheart with flawless PR campaigns and carefully controlled interviews. But behind that polished exterior lies a truth that's now exploding into the open, and it's not pretty. Blake wasn't just another actress eager to prove her talent in It Ends With Us. She wanted the entire production to revolve around her. Sources close to the set say she came in with one goal: total control. She didn't just want to act. She wanted to own the script, the direction, the marketing, and the message. Why simply play the lead when you can hijack the whole operation? That was Blake's mindset. Justin Baldoni, who had spent 5 years building the project, developing the script, and nurturing Colleen Hoover's best-selling novel into a film, was suddenly shoved aside. His vision, his passion, his dedication to telling a story about trauma and survival, erased in real time by Blake's ego. Instead of allowing the film to shine for its powerful message, Blake steamrolled everything. She demanded script rewrites, forced changes, and shifted the narrative to serve her own image. The movie, which should have raised awareness about domestic abuse and given survivors a voice, was suddenly being twisted into a personal vanity project. And for what? To plug her liquor brand, to push her overpriced hair care products, to turn every interview into a commercial for her lifestyle empire. Survivor stories were buried so Blake could sell shampoo. And she didn't stop there. At press events, journalists were reportedly given strict instructions. Do not ask about the film's themes. No questions about domestic abuse. No tough conversations. No deeper meaning. Instead, the premiere tour became nothing more than a red carpet circus starring Blake herself. She strutted around like she was accepting an Oscar, turning serious press moments into self-congratulatory monologues. Every question became a love letter to her brilliance. Every appearance an opportunity to remind the world how important she believed she was. But this kind of behavior isn't new. Blake has a pattern. Time and time again, she's agreed to act in films only to secretly push her way into roles she wasn't hired for. Directing, editing, producing, and she wanted it all. Even when nobody asked. And the insecurity? It's shocking. Take Anna Kendrick, for example. Anna was the original lead of A Simple Favor. She's talented, she's respected, she's well-liked in Hollywood. But Blake couldn't stand being in second place. Insiders revealed she fought tooth and nail to steal top billing from Anna, waging a weeks-long war over whose name appeared first. It sounds ridiculous, right? But it's true. The fight got so messy, producers had to invent a bizarre hybrid billing compromise. Anna's name came first, but Blake's appeared higher up on the right side. Imagine fighting over font placement like your career depended on it. For Blake, it did. And this obsession with credit and control is exactly why the media is tearing her apart. Megyn Kelly didn't hold back. She exposed Blake as a fraud, a manipulator, a bully who thrives on playing the victim while trampling everyone else. She even compared Blake to Amber Heard, and honestly, the similarities are haunting. Like Amber, Blake tried to weaponize the Me Too movement for her own gain. She ran to the New York Times with a sympathetic story, painting herself as a misunderstood victim, hoping the public would eat it up. But it backfired. Justin Baldoni's team had receipts, leaked texts, insider accounts, evidence that directly contradicted her narrative. When the truth came out, Blake's attempt at rewriting history collapsed. And here's the most telling part. Nobody in Hollywood is standing by her. Usually, when a celebrity is unfairly targeted, their friends and co-stars rush to defend them. That's how the industry works. Solidarity, statements of support, Instagram posts of loyalty. But with Blake, nothing. Radio silence. Not one cast member from Gossip Girl, not one fellow actress, not even her supposed A-list besties. Nobody wants to go down with her ship. Why? Because this isn't the first time Blake has burned bridges. Let's rewind to 2009, back on the set of Gossip Girl. Blake openly admitted to poisoning the cast against Penn Badgley, her co-star and love interest on screen. Why? No real reason. She just didn't like him. She spread negativity, turned others against him, and made his life miserable on set. Years later, when she realized he wasn't the bad guy she thought, she simply moved on like nothing happened. But the damage was done. To this day, Penn hasn't defended her, and neither has Leighton Meester. In fact, both of them refuse to even follow Blake on Instagram. Imagine working with someone for 6 years and not even wanting to associate with them online. That silence is louder than any statement. And then there's the infamous 2016 press junket scandal. A Swedish journalist, just doing her job, congratulated Blake on her pregnancy by saying she had a cute baby bump. A normal person would smile and say thank you. But Blake? She looked the woman up and down and sneered, "Oh, so do you." She body-shamed another woman on live TV, humiliating her in front of an entire press room. That clip resurfaced right when Blake was trying to play the victim in her lawsuit, and the timing couldn't have been worse. The arrogance doesn't end there. Behind the scenes, Blake reportedly compared herself to Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, bragging to Justin Baldoni that she was the mother of dragons. Her so-called dragons? Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds. She flaunted their names like trophies as if their star power made her untouchable. But when the scandals hit, Taylor Swift distanced herself completely. With her own controversies to manage, Taylor had no interest in being dragged into Blake's mess. She didn't defend her, didn't acknowledge her, didn't even blink. She stepped back and let Blake burn. And Ryan? The husband who used to play along with those picture-perfect PR couple goals? He's gone quiet too. Insiders whisper he's exhausted, tired of waking up every day to see his wife trending for all the wrong reasons. Tired of watching her lose brand deals. Tired of watching her compared to Amber Heard. Tired of watching her implode. And speaking of brand deals, those are vanishing at lightning speed. Blake's image was built on partnerships, lifestyle branding, selling products to the public under the guise of authenticity. But now companies don't want to touch her. Directors don't want to work with her. Producers don't want the headache. Why cast an actress who hijacks productions, throws tantrums over billing, and turns every project into a war zone? She's not an asset anymore. She's a liability. Even Colleen Hoover, the author who handpicked Blake to star in It Ends With Us, has erased her from social media. Every mention, gone. Every post, deleted. That's not normal. That's a calculated move, public distancing. The industry's way of saying we don't know her. And it doesn't stop there. Fans are turning against her too. Colleen Hoover's loyal base, the same people who were excited to see the book adapted, are dragging Blake across the internet. Pitch Perfect fans, loyal to Anna Kendrick, flood social media with comments slamming Blake. Even casual audiences, people who don't normally care about celebrity drama, are chiming in to say the same thing. She seems like a bully. She seems like someone who punches down. And Hollywood is taking notes. Blake is getting the blacklist treatment. She's not being defended. She's not being protected. She's being abandoned. The fairy tale image of Hollywood's golden girl has officially collapsed. Worse still, she may lose everything financially. The lawsuit she filed against Justin Baldoni, the one she thought would cement her victim narrative, has backfired spectacularly. Not only did he come prepared with receipts, but she now faces a counter lawsuit worth $400 million. $400 million. If she loses, it won't just be her reputation that's ruined. It'll be her bank account, her brand, her empire, her marriage. And Ryan Reynolds? Imagine being in his position. Your wife is being roasted across every platform, sued for hundreds of millions, blacklisted in Hollywood, compared to Amber Heard. How long before he starts rethinking his life choices? Insiders claim he already has. Blake thought she was untouchable. She thought she could manipulate, control, and spin her way out of any mess. She thought name-dropping Taylor Swift and hiding behind Ryan Reynolds would shield her from accountability. But not this time. The receipts are out, the industry has spoken, and the silence of her so-called friends is deafening. Her career isn't just slipping, and it's collapsing in real time. No credibility. No future projects. No Hollywood allies left. Just a string of scandals, lawsuits, and burned bridges. For years, she built her empire on lies, manipulation, and fake PR stunts. But the truth always catches up. And this time, the truth has won.